Hannah spent 2 years treating your friendship like a backstage VIP pass, never realizing that the most valuable thing in the room wasn't the pro heroes in training, but the person she was looking past to see them. When Hannah realizes the access to them has been permanently revoked, does she try to corner you in the UA hallways? And how does it feel to watch her face when she realizes that neither Bakugo nor Kirishima will even look in her direction without your signal? The first time Mina pointed it out, you laughed it off. Hey, don't you think it's weird that Hannah only ever texts you when Bakugo and Kiryu have something going on? She'd said, twirling her straw around her smoothie with that particular look on her face. The one she wore when she already knew the answer to the question she was asking. Well, she's just social. You'd said, she likes being around people. Mina had given you a long, slow blink. Oh, sure. You should have listened to Mina. You met Hana in your second year at UA, right around the time the rest of the world started paying attention to the fact that you were dating not one, but two of the most talked about hero course students in your year. Bakugo Katsuki, explosive and sharp-tongued, and devastating in every sense of the word. Kirishima Ijiro, broad-shouldered, warm, the kind of person who made a room feel safer just by walking into it. Together, the three of you were something people stared at in the hallways, a strange, loud, achingly real thing that didn't ask for anyone's understanding. Hannah had slid into the seat beside you in support course theory class and smiled like she'd known you forever. You're Mayan, right? From the hero course. She tilted her head. I've seen you around with Kirishima and Bakugo. Of course she had. Everyone did. But you hadn't thought anything of it. Why would you? She was funny and easy to talk to, the kind of girl who remembered your coffee order and sent you voice memos instead of texts because she said typing felt too impersonal. You'd called her your best friend within 4 months. You told her things you hadn't told Mina, things you hadn't even fully articulated to Katsuki or Ijiro yet. She had listened to all of it with wide eyes and perfectly timed sympathy. You found out the truth on a Tuesday, the way most devastating things happen, without warning, without ceremony. Ijiro had his arm around you on the couch, your legs thrown over Katsuki's lap, when your phone buzzed with a text from Hana. Is Kirishima going to that agency mixer next weekend? Can you put in a word for me with his teacher? You stared at it for a second too long. Who's that? Katsuki asked, not looking up from his phone, but somehow always aware of your stillness. Hana. What does she want? You read the text out loud. Ijiro shifted beside you, and even he, endlessly charitable, always find the good, Ijiro, went quiet in a way that meant something. She asked you the same thing about the Crimson Riot charity event, he said carefully. Remember? And before that, she wanted to know if we'd be at the sports festival after party. You did remember. You remembered it the way you remember something you'd been deliberately not remembering. Some uncomfortable shape you'd been walking around in the dark without wanting to name it. You went back through your messages with her that night, sitting cross-legged on your bed, with your phone, after both boys had fallen asleep. Katsuki flat on his stomach, taking up far too much space, and Ijiro curled like a coma. He read everything, 2 years of messages, and what you found turned something cold in your chest. She texted you most when they were visible, after a hero course showcase, after a magazine profile, after Katsuki placed in a ranking, or after Kirishima got photographed at a public event. The conversations about you, your internship stress, your family stuff, the long, messy process of figuring out who you were in the shadow of two people the world already loved. Those conversations were always short. Hana's replies, brief, steering, nudging the topic back toward them. Ah, that's rough, babe. Hey, are they going to the end of our agency open day? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, but is it true Bakugo got scouted by a top 10 already? You'll figure it out. Anyway, I ran into Kirishima today. He is so. He puts your phone face down on the mattress, and you sat with that for a long time. You didn't cry about it, which surprised you. You thought you would. Instead, there was just this flat, tired clarity, like the moment after a long exam, when your brain simply stops. You told Katsuki first, because Katsuki was always the one you told the ugly things to. He didn't flinch from them, didn't try to soften them into something prettier. He sat across from him at the kitchen table the next morning and laid it out plainly. He listened. He didn't interrupt. When you finished, he set down his coffee and looked at you with those red eyes that most people found frightening, and he had long since learned to read like a language. You already knew that, he said. It wasn't a question. I think part of me did. And the part that didn't, well, that part is pissed off. His jaw worked. Good. It should be. Ijiro cried a little, which he'd expected. He hugged you too tight and said I'm sorry into your hair, like it was his fault, which it wasn't. But you let him hold on, because it helped both of you. She doesn't deserve you, he said. She never did. The real you, the actual whole you. She never even tried to know that person. That was the thing that stayed with you. Not the anger, not even the grief, but that sentence. Because Hana had only ever wanted the version of you. She'd never wanted the version that lay awake anxious, that burned food when distracted, that cried in the shower after hard training days. She'd wanted the door, not the person holding it open. You stopped texting her back. She noticed after 11 days. You counted and sent a long message full of, I feel like you've been distant, and did I do something wrong? You read it. You thought about the version of yourself that would have rushed to reassure her, to smooth her over, to make someone else comfortable at your own expense. And then you put your phone down, walked into the living room, and dropped yourself between them on the couch. Katsuki didn't look up. Done? Yes. Ijiro pressed a kiss to your temple without missing a beat of the show he was watching. And you stayed there until the room got dark and nobody moved to turn on the lights. The three of you warm and quiet and entirely enough. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you liked this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and goodbye.